So in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, the government has announced plans to provide container homes for those who have been heavily affected. And to help us understand the structural integrity, sustainability of these homes are Dr. Wayne Reed, founding member, fellow and president of the Jamaica Institution of Engineers, and Christopher Burgess, member and VP of Engineering Affairs with the Jamaica Institution of Engineers and managing director of CEAC Solutions. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome. Doc, you know, I must admit I've been one of the people saying, why is it taking so long? Can't we just use the containers? Can't we just use the containers? And so when I heard the PM come out and say, you know, he's looking to secure 5,000 over the long term, I was like, okay, I think this is a good plan. But is it really?
In the aftermath of Melissa, one has to seek various solutions to satisfy the scarcity of homes and the fact that so many people are homeless. Those who owned homes before and those who did not own their homes but lived, that there is a need to house many people as quickly as possible. What we have to ensure is that in our haste to satisfy the housing requirements, that we ensure that the facilities that are provided, both the building itself and the infrastructure which is required to make a house into a home, that all those things are provided and provided well. We have seen very clearly that the lack of proper housing solutions and the lack of the facilities that go to make it, whether it is the water, the electricity, the sewage, or whatever it is, that these things have created, the lack of these things have created a lot of problems with our now burgeoning homeless numbers. And one can understand the willingness or the haste of the government to fill the gap, to ensure that people don't get frustrated and, you know, start to create solutions of their own. So we are in this quandary right now, and what we have to do is to make sure that in providing everything, that all our I's are dotted and T's are crossed.
So it's the best solution for the short term?
I'm not saying it's the best solution.
So what would be the best solution for the short term? Then?
Short term? In 1951, after Hurricane Charlie, it was the first time that the government was getting into housing, so a housing department was set up and so forth. And what came across to my mind was that they built some houses down in Trenchtown, just north of Boys Town. The houses are still there. Right? So it is not a matter of rushing to provide, but to provide something that is stable and something which the occupants will care. So it takes a lot more than just putting down a container on the ground.
Yeah. But is there a way to put the containers down, sir? Because I've seen schools use container solutions when they want to expand classrooms, libraries, and so on. I've seen offices use container solutions. So is it the solution or the way in which it is installed? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I think it's a mixture of both. Certainly the fastening of the container to the ground is very important, but the durability of the container is also important. And we need to separate shipping containers, which are repurposed, which is a usual solution, from foldable container solutions, which is, I think, where the government is going.
Okay.
You see the images online where the containers, the homes come out of these containers and they lift them up and they fold out like let's say an accordion. Yeah, certainly we have less experience with those. A lot of contractors have experiences with those, but it was interesting after a meeting with members with other persons. I went to a grade 1 contractor's office in Portmore, and it was leaking. And this is part of the notorious problem with them. These foldable containers, they're not known to be, let's say, watertight. So we could be giving persons something which is not durable. And we can learn from others. We don't have to be the guinea pig. So Bahamas, Dominica, Haiti, FEMA, United States, FEMA, they rejected these solutions, generally speaking, broadly speaking, because of health issues with air quality inside, the long-term durability. In a lot of instances, they lasted between 1 and 3 years. So, well, the government has said it's temporary. So my stand is that if it's temporary and set up in a temporary context with the water and the sewage services that the people need, not isolated single lots, then I think there is a place for it. But I think it should be blended with other solutions.
What are they made from, Sir Borges?
Sandwich panels in a lot of instances, plastic panels with foam infill, and you have to watch what material the foams are made from, because some of them have certain indoor air quality issues and fire hazard issues. So these are things we have to explore. And the truth is as well that even the 2026 hurricane season is being conditioned to be intense as well.
Wow.
So if we don't fasten these down properly, if we don't make sure them can resist at least a Cat 3, we might just be building vulnerabilities. And so I like the idea of block and steel and something that we have done. And so that is what I think we should be where we're going.
Well, Dr. Reed, it's a catch-22, because I know even yesterday I was speaking to someone who is in Frome, and her concern was for the children to be able to be somewhere that they can call home. Yeah, so I think that's the catch. How do I get them into a home? But I need to also get them into a home that's sustainable. What do we do?
I think that we have to ensure that we have something that is durable. If not, then we run into a problem of creating our own hurricanes, so to speak. That we would have a set of solutions which don't work, and if you try to bring back some of the same, the people are going to reject it. So whatever you come with right now has to be good in terms not only of durability, but how it looks, how it works, the connectivity to the general infrastructure resources, sources, so that the people can feel relatively comfortable inside there. You remember that some of the people who will be housed in this would have come from relatively good homes, if you want to put good houses. Others will come in from not too good. So the expectations of the people who are going inside there are going to be different based on what you had before. But they are all hoping, and not just hoping, they are demanding in their hearts that what you give me not leaking, it's not going to flood, it's not going to be hot inside, it is going to be safe, so people can just broke inside there and come thief out my things. All of these things are in the minds of the people. So in terms of you putting things together or putting a set of them together, we have to look at these things so that we can make sure that what we provide satisfies not just a house, but a home for the people.
You harken back to the 50s and what happened after. Block and steel takes a while, eh?
Yes.
As far as you envision it, how long will a rebuild like that take for us on that side?
You mean containers or block and steel?
Block and steel.
Block and steel can take very quickly if you have a number of people working on it and who know what they're doing. It's not something that's going to take you weeks and months, no.
So do I hear you saying, Doc, that that's what we ought to have done instead of this?
No, I'm not saying. You see, it depends on a lot of various
variables.
factors.
Yes.
The container sounds good if you have 5,000 containers stacked up over there right now, as is coming to the port tomorrow morning, and I can put on site. You have to remember now that when you put it on site, you better have the infrastructure to tie it in. You better have a road going there. You better have the water into it. You better have the sewage coming off it. You better make sure that it is well connected to its foundations. You better make sure that the drainage, the stormwater drainage, because I'm not coming out of somewhere that I get flooded out and you put me in somewhere that the first rain.
There's a problem.
Yes.
I understand, boy. We're learning lessons as we move along. Yes. And we can just hope that, as we learn them, people are able to recover quickly and with dignity. Gentlemen, we're out of time, but thank you so much for being with us this morning. Dr. Wayne Reed, founding member, fellow and president of the Jamaica Institution of Engineers, and Christopher Burgess, member and vice president of Engineering Affairs, the Jamaica Institution of Engineers, and managing director of CEAC Solutions Limited.
Coming up, we are talking about the Jamaicans for Justice's ongoing efforts to protect the most vulnerable women across the island in the aftermath of the hurricane. Back with that after this.